When you were in the teams, how did they figure out what your job was going to be? Like in the army, you got like, all right, he's a medic, he's a weapons sergeant, he's a comm sergeant.
It
Huh.
all depends on when you're a new guy. When you show up, what schools are available. Like when I first checked in, the class before me, so Dave Fagio, Kyle Milliken, all those dudes, they were one class ahead of me in Buds. We were in the same platoon, but because they graduated 6 months before us, those dudes came back right when the team came home. So they had a full 6 months to go to schools. So they checked in.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody there. All the old guys had already done all their schools. So they had open slots in sniper, comms, JTAC, and then a couple of ancillary ones. So they knocked those out. So when I showed up, I was only 19. I couldn't go to any schools. I couldn't get a rental car. So I went to hazmat driver or demo driver, which I couldn't do because I wasn't 21. So I couldn't do that.
No license.
No license. So I didn't get anything on that first rotation. I don't think anybody did. We came back from the second one, and then you could kind of pick and choose.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. So you don't have a license, so they can't let you drive. They,
I wasn't allowed to drive demo. I couldn't get a rental car.
but they can't let you drive military vehicles.
Not ones that are transporting demo. You have to be 21, and you have to have a government driver's license, and I couldn't get one until I was 21.
Yo, that is too funny.
Yeah.
But you can go to Afghanistan or Iraq and smoke
Oh
people.
yeah, man. Oh, you can
Okay.
get after. You just can't drive a truck, and you
God
can't get a
damn.
rental car. So that's always funny. Um,
Yeah, I'll say.
I
Anyway,
mean, that was
sorry.
one of my issues when I went to selection is I couldn't get a rental car. I was too young. You got to be 25 to get a rental car in the military. Like,
Right.
I'm only 23. I can't. So whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, and when you come back, it all depends. Guys who are hanging out a lot with the assaulters and the breachers, they want to go to breacher school. So you get X amount of slots per team. We'll say 12. Each platoon gets to be able to cough up 2 guys or 3 guys to go. Guys will fall out. Slots open up last minute. So I wanted to go to breacher. I did breacher. And there's a bunch of ancillary like leadership schools you have to go to. Dive supervisor, static line jump master, free fall jump master, all those different things. And they needed a guy to do air, so that was my compromise. Like, well, if you let me go to breacher, I'll do all the air stuff too. I wasn't even free fall qualled, and that was really my kind of push for doing that. Like, I'll take up all the ancillary air stuff if you
Mm-hmm.
let me go to free fall because it wasn't part of the pipeline then. And I knew I eventually wanted to try to screen and go over to the SMU. And I'm like, I don't want to go through free fall going through selection. I want to have it here. So that was like my big push. Second one I knocked out. Breacher, I think static line jump master, Hearst cast master, a bunch of other stuff, free fall, and then went down kind of the rabbit hole. But a lot of guys, they like the pair quals that are going to make you like a universal asset. So guys that'll go to sniper will also go to comm school. If you go to comm
Mm.
school, you might as well go to JTAC because now you're a trio. Now they don't need to bring a separate dude to be a JTAC and a comms guy and a snipe.
Just one
You can
guy.
do them all.
Right.
It's like you make yourself universal. The issue is if you get all those quals and you don't actually do the job, you're like a qual whore. You go to all these schools, you never really do one. You're not actually breaching. You go to some 4 or 6 week school, you come back and you got a cert, but you never do the job. So you're actually a breacher. No. You know how to do it, but you're not a subject matter expert. Same thing with sniping. Got a bunch of guys who go to sniper school. They never get put in a rotation. They never go to recce. They're not actually doing sniper missions. They have the qual though. And that's what you have to ask guys. Like, I asked Eddie, I was like, I know you went to sniper school. Are you a no shit sniper or you just go to sniper school? He's like, no, I'm an actual sniper.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different because you have a bunch of guys who go, and then you have guys later on in their career who are snipers but have never gone to sniper school. So that's always something weird.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and sometimes you get tossed into it. Like, you'll come back from a rotation, like, hey, you're going to comm school. I don't want to go to comm school. Never did they ask if you wanted to go. You just have to go. And there's shitty schools and there's really good deals that guys don't want to go to. Like, there was the whole 18 Delta program. Typically, they were pulling guys out of buds. You're a corpsman. You're going to do some SOCA medic course. You finish SQT, and then you go to long course 18 Delta down in Bragg.
Right.
There was a gap in there for a little bit. Like, hey, we'll take people that aren't corpsmen. If you want to go to 18 Delta, you can go through that course. So we had a bunch of guys go and do that. But I mean, you got to go back. I think it's every 6 months and requal and all the other stuff to make sure your skill set's
Mm-hmm.
still staying where it needs to be. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff, like, you don't have a choice on what you want to pick. You can, but if the school's not there, I mean, say you want to go to sniper. You get there, there's no slots in your first rotation, no slots in your second rotation. Get to your third rotation, you're almost too senior to go to a brand new guy school, and
Right.
then it's a fight. You know,
So for you, you ended up as
I just
primarily
wanted,
as a breacher, or
yeah, I just wanted to be a breacher and an assaulter. That's all I wanted to
are
do.
those two different?
No, everybody's an assaulter.
Everybody's an assaulter.
Yeah, everybody's an assaulter. It's just the breacher, guy running the primary breach scene, doing all that kind of stuff.
Are
And
you usually like the second guy in a stack, or how does that work?
we always did it different, man. Like I always like being up front. Yeah, first, second guy in there, but I mean, you're the one putting your hands on the door. You're the one reading it. You're deciding how
Yeah.
you're going to get into it. You don't have to be the first guy, and we've played around with it. You have a point guy up front. He splits, gives you the door, then you run the scene from
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeah, it's all just a little bit different, but breaching's the only thing that I wanted to do. I came up and under like the Dragos of the world that were just breaching everything. I mean, brother, we blowing dog houses, coop, anything you could blow, we blew.
Right.
And it was great because you really got comfortable with demo, modifying demo on the fly and a bunch of non-conventional stuff. You just look at it and you're like, in theory, this will work. And you just start making up
It's like
stuff and
it's like Rain
boom.
Man for blowing things up.
Yeah. And then it
Yeah.
works. And you're like, okay, sketch it all down, take a note later, making different charges, all that kind of stuff. It's super cool.
If you
And yeah, when
sorry.
I transitioned over later, over to the SMU, the team that I went into, everybody was a super high level breacher.
That's cool.
So everybody breaches there, and it's like, yeah, we don't really need a breacher. We need an air guy. I'll be your air guy.
Mm-hmm.
Still going to be an assaulter. I get to jump out first. Done. That's easy.
Right.
Yeah.
How often did you guys breach on
Mm.
missions or even
Mm.
in training?
When I was at Team 10 overseas for 05, 07, we blew everything. Everything.
Doors, walls.
Everything. Yeah. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at my notebook. I mean, I think on one of these things, I think I had 15 or 20 breaches in one night.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I got to the point I was carrying 2 7-foot roll-ups in each one, 3 or 4 on each side, different grains of ECT.
What are roll ups? For
Seven
those that
foot,
don't know.
7-foot strip charge.
Okay.
So C2, depending on how C2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, you can just keep stacking up for as big a shot as you want to. I like the 7-foot roll-ups because I'd modify them on the fly. So if I went up to a door and I thought, or I could tell it had a top pin, a center pin, I wouldn't use the entire charge. I'd place the whole thing. I'd just take a knife and I'd cut it off in half.
Mm-hmm.
Cut from the top, roll it up, keep the other half. So I'd have now an extra 3.5 footer in my pocket. That kind of stuff. And then, hit these ones where you're basically just hitting compound after compound after compound. As soon as you get done, you're about to go on the next one. Give me charges. And you're just taking them, shoving them in your stuff. So now you're running around just blowing everything. And then as you started to progress, like when Barrett came in, the mindset started to shift. Like everything's going to be quiet. We're not blowing everything. I mean, we were busy on that third one once we finally got going, but maybe 10, maybe 20 breaches that whole deployment, like not many. And then when you transition over your later career, you're breaching a lot in training, and when you go overseas, that's like a last-ditch effort. Like you don't want to. It just wakes up everybody. It's like if you can get in quiet, get in quiet. So the whole mindset started to kind of change.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot.
A significant amount.
Mm-hmm.
Reason I'm asking because I want to talk to you about the correlation with breaching and TBIs and how quickly does that take place? TBI, is it like first time breaching, you'll start accruing a little bit of that effect?
Everything's an accrual.
Right.
Like when you're brand new and you first go to breacher school, you can eat them all day long. Especially if you've never been exposed, if you don't have, a career in MMA or like extreme sports, you've been getting knocked out over and over and over. You think about like a Travis Pastrana. Like if you slap him inside the head, you might kill his ass. Just so many TBIs. At a certain point, I used to tell guys, after I'd been doing it for a long time, we'll say every assaulter has 100 real close breaches. We'll say 100. You don't have 100, but just for the sake of the argument, we'll say 100. Those don't care if it's in training or reality.
Right.
So if you're breaching 20, 30 times a week, you're chipping away really, really fast. Like you're going to use up your entire inventory in a month. Like there's got to be a better way. So a bunch of guys have come up with different training charges. I think Breach Pop has one. It looks like an ECT, but it only runs on single strand det cord, maybe 2 strands. So it gives the operator same feel and function, but now it's not the same overpressure you have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of stuff you're trying to combat. It's not the frag, it's the overpressure. And when you get
How?
inside these small rooms,
Yeah.
it crushes you.
I mean, how close are you to these things?
It all depends in reality versus training. So on some of these things, MSD, your minimum safe distance, we'll say 18 feet.
Right.
It's 18 feet external. What happens when you get inside and that's the only charge you have and you don't? So internal, you double it. I don't have it. I don't have 30 something feet to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? Put your head down,
Just eat it.
exhale, and send it.
Why do you exhale?
Right. Just get all the air going out of your lungs. When a shock wave hits you, it continues to go. If you hold your breath, it's a lot of pressure on your internal organs. So I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but that's just what they've always told us to do. Put your head down, let it hit you right in the top of the head, and just exhale. Boom. Let it go. But I mean, that whole time, like, we weren't running with AirPro. You had an Invisio in one ear,
Yep.
typically on your opposite shooting side, so you run in your left ear, there's nothing in your right ear. So even when you're blowing these shots, I mean, you might see a guy do one of these, but typically just turn your head and send it just over and over, eating it.
Just eating that thing.
And then, TTPs change. So a lot of times back in the day, we'd have like 100-foot long reels. It's like your initiating device reel. It's 100 feet. It's a lot of shit to pay out. And it never made sense to take a 100-foot reel or a 50-foot reel on a 20-foot MSD. So we'd chop them. We'd have a different like PRI. We'd prime into them so I'd chop down the MSDs right to 18 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So one full arm length, boom. That's the issue. Now you get inside. It's like, that's the only leads I have. Like 4-second delays, real sketchy depending. Like I like to have intimate control over this thing. But now I'm stuck in this weird hallway where I can't wrap a corner. Now I'm standing right in front of it. I've had that happen multiple. Imagine like a T intersection. Well, down the long hallway is 22 feet. I can't even make it around the corner. So I have to stand right in front of this door.
Just take it.
Boom. Eat it real quick and then do the job. And with experience and time, you realize it's not the best answer, and then you learn how to solve it. But in the moment, you just do what everybody else is doing, and it's working, and all of a sudden, you get to the point where you just never feel right again. Mm-hmm. You always feel like you're hungover. You wake up in the morning, your head just pounding, like you don't want to look at lights, and because nobody talks about it, you don't realize this what's happening to you. You think you're dehydrated, you think you're this, oh, maybe I'm coming down with, you tell yourself all the different things. It never occurred to me that breaching was what was messing me up. Never. Because nobody else ever said it. Like, I mean, you'd make we'd crank off some 7-foot C8 and just, whoa! Like, holy fuck, dude. You get back home, it's like just head just pounding. Like, how you feeling? Like, I feel like shit, dude. And you just go to bed. You wake up next morning, and that's it. Eat a couple 800 milligram Motrin, shot of Toradol, send it again.
In layman's terms, in regards to TBIs, what exactly happens that the TBI occurs?
It all,
as explained to you.
It all depends, and you'd have to ask a doctor or a scientist. What they told me is the overpressure consumes the room that you're in, and you basically get pounded on all of them. Come here, my love.
I'm gonna go work out.
Okay. You get consumed by all this stuff, and it pounds on top of you. Did you not bring me a coffee?
Did you bring me a coffee?
Say hi.
Hi, dude.
The camera.
Camera. Just
You guys
look.
recording?
Yes, come here.
Yeah,
It's too late. You've already interrupted.
Yeah, just say hello.
Hello?
It's my lovely wife,
You
Patsy.
can't see you.
Yeah, you can't even see. You're up too
You're
damn
next.
high.
Yeah, you gotta. There you
Who
go.
are you recording for?
This is Patreon. We're talking about breaching and TBI.
Okay, well, I'm sorry I interrupted.
And we did a wrap up on warfare.
Oh, great. Yep.
How'd
Did
you
you tell him?
I told him you cried, I told him I cried, and I said that we both agreed that we think all the wives should watch Warfare if their husbands have been to the G1.
Yep.
But I think she'd agree, if you're in a really bad spot, you might want to wait till that thing comes out on Netflix or Prime, unless you just don't care about breaking down inside the theater. I don't care. Like, I did, she did, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I thought it was an awesome movie.
Yeah, it was. It's probably one of the closest depictions of what
Yeah.
the boys do when they go out there. Gives a reality check to those who don't appreciate their liberties and freedoms and what our military does for them. So it just gives them a glimpse of what these boys do out there.
I'm into that.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go work out.
Yeah, get it.
Bye.
See it. So breaching was explained to me is about the overpressure. So the charge goes off, all the concussive blast goes out, it rebounds off the walls and comes back together, and you're the thing it comes together with. Oh, I mean, internal issues. We've heard of guys tearing descending aortas in their heart from just constant shock all day long. Guys busting out blood vessels in their eyes, ears, nose, sinuses, chipping teeth. Just a bunch of weird stuff. And a lot of it, you'll do a huge shot, a fucking big one, and your whole body will shake. It'll feel like you're almost in a car accident. Like the adrenaline comes and you're just all shook up. But nothing significant has happened. It's just your body's shocked from everything that just happened to it. And you do it again. You do it again. You do it again. And then when you go home at the end of the night, I mean, every dude who's ever breached, if you ever run across a breacher, I don't care if he's in the military, if he's a cop, a SWAT team dude, ask that dude about breacher snot. When you get done breaching, torching, quickie saws, whatever, when you get home at the end of the night and you blow your nose on the edge of the shower, it is just black fucking soot that comes out of you from breathing all that stuff in. We'll make a joke for like Zoolander. Got the black lung, Pop. That's what it's like, dude. And you can feel it. Like, it feels like there's an elephant sitting on top of your chest just from the constant pounding of this thing over and over and over. And you kind of just get used to it after a while. But you don't. You just get numb to what's actually happening to you. Because nobody's talking about it. It's the same thing over and over. And I told the boys, every time we do a breaching trip now, you have to burn more reps breaching than you think you have to. But there has to be a better way. If I was king for a day, we wouldn't blow live shots unless it's an FTX or unless it's a real thing. We'd have training charges throughout that look and feel the same weight. I mean, a carbon copy of it. So, because it matters, like how big they ball up, where they sit in a cargo pocket, what pouch, how you pull them out, how you peel the hydrogel, how much weight hangs, are they going to peel off the door? All that shit matters. And if you don't make them exactly right, you're burning bad reps the whole time through. So that's where the training charges, I was never a fan of them because they felt fake to me. And I don't like that. I want it to feel exactly the way it's going to feel for real, so I have intimate contact throughout the entire process. And a lot of guys just overlook that. So, I mean, you can't cheat the reps. You have to burn them. Like, your process has to be so meticulous. The way you get the pouches out, the way you close pouches back up, the way you peel hydrogel, the way you cap in, where the leads are, how you're going to break the no-nail, all that stuff matters. And the only way you're going to get good is to really, really run it. But again, you only have so many inside of your orbit before it really starts to pound you out. And for me, I don't want to waste 100 reps putting myself into a hole on a flat range, on door facades, training at Virginia Beach. Because if you burn through all of those reps and you finally get game day of, and you really have to eat it, it's like that one we talked about with like me and Dan Luna. That 1200 grain ECT, it's a pretty big shot. And I mean, that was from an arm's length away. Right? No one wants to fire that shot. Nobody's running Air Pro. Nobody wants to send it. But because you get comfortable enough with demo and you understand what it does and what it will and what it won't do and where you can actually stand, and it's going to suck and it's going to hurt, but it's not going to kill us. And it's not going to incapacitate us. I know that for a fact, so I got to send it. I mean, you're going to Texas, right? You'll meet Dan Luna. I'd love to sit down and talk to him about it, because when I threw that thing on the door, there ain't no place to go, dude. I can either blow it and we're all going to eat a shit sandwich here for a second, or I can not, and we can all just sit here and get pounded out for the rest of the night and probably get killed. That's one of those things, like, I'm gonna have to eat through a significant amount of your reserve right now, and hopefully we have some in reserve. And I'll just be honest, between me, Dan, and the TL that were under that porch that night, we didn't have any in reserve. We didn't.
Was this the
yeah.
Okay.
Like, Dan had been a breacher for a long time. He had a ton of deployments, a ton of TBIs. He was already fighting Muay Thai a lot. The other TL, same thing. Shit tons of TBI, 14 rotations. I mean, we were all kind of chewed up.
Yeah.
That plus our grenades, their grenades, the T-bomb, all the other shit going on. It's just concussive blast back to back to back to back to back. And that cumulative effect just, it puts you in a hole you just really couldn't get out of. And nobody came back. I mean, I ended up managing to come back, but Dan ended up retiring. He never came back. TL never came back. Ended up getting medically retired. Most of the guys, I mean, we all should have just
Hmm.
been med boarded right then. I mean, it was bad.
Now, you said that, after a breaching day, you'll start feeling some of the effects almost immediately.
Yeah.
At what point did you realize, hey, this thing's really messing me up?
Oh, I was way,
And
I was way late, like decades in. Yeah. Like I didn't even understand that breaching was really an issue until probably 2014, 15. And it's, I've told that story before about being all fucked up, about to go on a heavy breaching trip. I mean,
hmm
we're blowing huge shots. I mean, huge, thick, reinforced concrete walls. I mean, drilling, blasting, like heavy, complex problems. And that troop chief walked in, and I mean, in my mind, I thought I was doing a good job, and apparently I wasn't. But
what we doing?
just trying to show on how bad I wasn't. And I know Patsy called him for sure and told him what was going on with me. And I don't forget, we were in there, and I think I was going on the breaching trip the next day. And he's like, I don't think you should go, man. And I was like, no, I'm good. And you got to imagine him. He's got a very, very unique mannerisms and personality. He's like, let me rephrase it. You ain't fucking going. Roger that. Cool. Got up and left. I'm like, okay. Guess I'm not going. Like, not gonna argue with that. I mean, he gets it. Like, he was a master breacher. He's got a shit ton of TBIs. He gets it. I wish he would have articulated it to me.
hmm
I wish he would have told me why. Because I get why. Like, because you said so. It's like if you would have pulled me aside, maybe that just wasn't his style back then, but if you would have pulled me aside and like, I can tell you're fucked up. Like, I can see it. And if we don't get a hold of this, you are not going to have a career. Just that little sentence on the end of it would have helped me adopt the narrative. Because I didn't the whole time. I was like, fucking asshole.
Right.
Like, I'm fucking fine, dude. I'm fine. I wasn't fine. I needed someone to like really set me down who wasn't my wife and go, you are not fine.
What were the symptoms you were having
Oh, dude.
that broke the camel's back?
Amnesia. Didn't know where I was. I'd wake up in weird places. I'd like foam roll on the gym and I'd do like a time lapse of 40 minutes where I'm just laid on my back, just staring at the ceiling. I don't know that I'm there. I mean, shit, she caught me in a gym out in town. She was in there doing a workout. And I came into the gym. I'm dressed just like this. And she finishes her workout and she sees my car out front and walks back in the gym. And I'm laid over in the corner like a starfish, just staring at the ceiling.
Mm.
She grabs the gym owner and she's like, what's he doing? She's like, he's been like that for 40 minutes. I have no idea. She went over there right in front of my face. Eyes are kind of just dazed out. I'm not blinking. I don't remember any of it, dude. Like, I mean, you're from Virginia Beach. Like, I'd wake out of my house and I've got to take one turn to go to work. One turn. And I end up at Norfolk Scope. Lost. Don't know how to get home. Don't know my address to type back into the GPS to get me home. Can't remember my wife's name, my kid's name. Nothing. Like, the weirdest shit, dude. And then you stop having a filter. You stop having a dial. And then you're just mean the whole time. Because you can't control the things you want to control, so everything starts to piss you off, and then you don't want to have any more conversations. So anytime anybody wants to bring it up, how are you feeling? How's this? Like, you don't look good. Man, fuck you. Like, that's just how it starts.
The behavioral side. Right?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You just send it to everybody. Get the fuck away from me. And that becomes the narrative. You become so distant because you don't want to accept the reality that's happening to you. Like, nope, I'm Superman. I can't be hurt. There's no kryptonite here. I am fucking fine. I am good. And you're not good. And as soon as you get alone, it really starts to unravel, and now you get it. Like, man, I am not good, dude. Like, what day is it?
Mm.
What fucking month is it? And you can't remember.
Yeah.
And you're scrolling through your phone, and you're like, what's the PIN to my debit card? What's the password to my email? Oh my God. Like, you can't remember anything, dude. And it's just like that. It happens overnight. So what everybody does, you go,
Keep it
and
to yourself.
you never say a word.
Yeah.
Can't say a word, dude, because if you do, they're going to bring you in for all these testing. They're going to send you to Bethesda. So they're trying to figure out what's wrong with you. And the whole time, they're just going to sideline you. And that's just something that dudes don't want to be a part of. They don't want to be taken out of the orbit. Nope, I'm just going to sit here and suffer in silence. And that was my favorite saying. I'm going to run until the wheels fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. Yep, they came off completely. But it sucks, man, because nobody talks about it.
Right.
That's why, like, I mean, you've heard me when I get out here with these SWAT team guys, and they're like, "Oh, we want to get into explosive breach," and like, careful what you wish for, man. Like, I haven't found too many doors that you can't get in manually that you can only get in explosively. And a lot of times, it's not the breach in itself. It's the reality in which you're forced to breach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of that window, because of this door, because of that second floor overhang, you can't get in a good position. You have to eat it, and you never know which one of those is going to be the one that tips the scales in a negative way. You just got to be really mindful, man. I'm telling them, like, you can't sacrifice the reps, but man, if you can find a happy medium to where you can build training charges that are so realistic, your body doesn't know the difference, that's the answer. That is the only answer. It sucks, man, because breaching's fun, and dudes love it, and it's super cool. But man, if you do it one wrong time, really gonna chew you up, dude.
If you were king for a day, what would your solution to limiting TBIs to breachers?
I'd build better training charges.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't make it too regimented because that whole community has to be running on some pretty standard operating procedures, and you have to be willing to and able to navigate the gray area at your own will, at your own desire. So by, we'll just use like a TF-160 for example.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say they get, I'll make it up, 1,000 flight hours per whatever, and they're like, well, that's a lot of taxation. Let's chop them down to 50%. That's not the solution. No. What makes them great is how much they get to fly. They get
Right.
to fly because they're the best in the world. The reason they're the best in the world because they get to fly whenever the fuck they want to in any type of weather condition, and you're not throwing limitations on them. So when we call them at 2:30 in the morning in the middle of a nightmare, brown out, there's hail, there's snow, they can't find this, they can't find that, they're still coming because they have all those reps in reserve. It's the same thing for the breachers. Like, you have to be able to solve that equation, and unless you breach a lot, some of these problems you'll walk up to and you'll look and go, oh my God, I don't have anything for that. Still got to find a way. And if you've been breaching a lot of it, you'll look at it and go, it's all window dressing. The only thing stopping me is a 2/4 inch piece of plywood. That's it. If I get through that, the whole door comes open. Whole thing swings open. It's like, man, I was about to really blow that thing. Like, I don't need to. Now I blow it. Everybody else in the neighborhood wakes up. Now we're in one of these shit shows like warfare. It's like, now they hear you. Now the gig's up. Yeah, I mean, I think better training charges and just a little more big brother mentorship, talking about the TBIs, the breach relating stuff. Like, you have to be able to
Yeah.
breach, but you've got to be able to save some in the tank, dude. Got to. Eating these things on training trips or on, runs on a fucking Tuesday to where you're just crippling yourself because you're trying to get a faster time. You're not trying to reel back to full MSD. Like, all those little things, you're just chipping away at your baseline. And then at a certain point, you're going to eat right through it, and now you're really going to be leveraged up. And it's like, man, I don't know where the fuck I'm at anymore. You don't want to have that. The whole team needs you operating all 8 cylinders, not just give them away.
Mm-hmm. What do you end up doing to combat your TBI?
Everything. Meds, meditation, 20-minute walks, talk therapy, acupuncture, everything, dude. Mine, I mean, I'd say there's nothing that could be done I have not tried at this point. I've done stellate ganglion blocks through my throat, in my brain stem. I've done the magnets.
Magnets.
Yeah, they've got these magnet therapies they put on your brain that try to reset your parasympathetic nervous system or something like that. I've done that, no result. And really, dude, getting off the medication was number one. Like, eliminating all that shit, because when you first get jammed up, they'll throw 10 or 15 pills down your throat, and it'll make you feel really, really good for a minute. You're like, okay, well, I feel like I got brain fog. They just gave me 20 milligrams of Adderall. Now I feel like a superhuman. Like, okay, cool. Well, then the Adderall turns you mean, and then it makes you depressed. They give you an antidepressant for that. Well, the antidepressant gives you this, gives you headaches, so they give you Maxalt for headaches. And it's like,
Stacking on.
well, now I can't sleep. Well, we'll give you amitriptyline to sleep, and we'll give you Ambien, so we'll alternate every other day. Like, okay, well, I'm having nightmares. We'll give you Prazosin. It's a blood pressure medication. Okay, we'll take it at night. Well, the issue is if I take it at night and I stand up, I pass out, and then I crack my skull open. Now I've got a double TBI. Okay, then what else? And boom, boom, boom,
Got a
boom.
pill for that
When
too.
you look at it, it's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm taking 25 meds. Well, 50% are to counteract the other 12 that I'm taking.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
when I got off all the meds and I was at true baseline zero, like, okay, there's nothing in my body now, nothing but water. I feel like shit.
Hmm.
Okay, but this is me sober. But this is me no medication, no uppers, no downers, no nothing. And then you go down to Mexico and you get something bigger than yourself, like some psychedelic reset, and I swear to God, man, like, I mean, they can see it now. I mean, they can track it, so it's not foo-foo, it's not pixie dust. Like, they're remapping the entire brain.
There's actually scientific evidence.
They can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can watch your whole. So, we'll say a thought goes from this area of your brain all the way back through, and because you have TBI here, it does this weird junction, comes back around, and then goes back to here. One treatment I haven't gained, the neural pathways are completely rebuilt, so they can watch it. It spikes, straight line, boom. One treatment. So it is reversing, it is fixing it.
It's got to be really frustrating that you got to take all these pills, and it's like you want to keep your soldiers, your sailors, dependent on it.
As long as you're doing the job, man.
It's weird, dude.
Seems like a lot of people
Yeah.
don't care. Like, just take the pill, shut up, and go to work.
Yeah.
Which, let me preface it with this: I never pushed away meds ever. As soon as I walked in, like, this med will make you better. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Threw it right back, man. Anything else? Well, how's this feel? Hurts. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Like, I'm never one of those guys that I throw back on the military like, oh, you doped me up against my will. No, you said it would work and I took it. For sure. Look, well, I've got this. Well, you gave me this medication, now I've got this ailment. Well, I've got another med for that. Give it to me. Like, brother, I just want to be Captain America. That's all I want to be. I want to be at 100% for as long as humanly possible. If that pill's going to get me there, give it to me. And everybody's like that. It's not until you see them all come together and you wake up in the morning, you're looking at a pill box with 30 medications, and you're like, man, I'm spending all my free time taking pills. I've got alarms set, I'm traveling with pill boxes, like, and then if you miss a day, you're way down the rabbit hole, and you're like, okay, well, here's the deal, I'm never going to miss a day again. And then you end up on these meds for 10, 20, 30, the rest of your life. Yeah.
Would you say you've had at least 30 pills?
Oh, I've had more than that. Oh, I've had more than that. No, shit, I'm taking 30 pills a day now. A lot of them are herbal supplements for my kidneys and stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen that. I mean, I was taking 60 plus pills a day. Some of those are the same medication multiple times a day, but yeah,
2-3 times a day.
60 pills a day, pretty much for a decade.
When you went to Mexico after that,
I'm not on anything. I'm not on.
cut it all out.
I'm not on a single prescription. I mean, outside of like peptides and stuff like that for
Yeah.
the kidneys, but as far as like pharmaceuticals, I'm not on a Mobic, not a Motrin, nothing. I can't take aspirin. I take nothing. And it sucks, but cold plunge, sauna, foam rolling, anti-inflammatories, curcumin, the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, trying to get better.
If there's something you could advice you could give guys, preachers, anyone else with TBIs or going through what you went through, that's not really looking forward to asking for help, how would you push them? What would your advice to them be?
It all depends on what community you're in. I'll just use special operations in general. We'll say you've been there for 5 or 6 years. You're like a E5 mafia type dude, middle of the road. You're a breacher. You're having signs and symptoms. You're having memory loss, irritability, can't sleep, nightmares, whatever it is. And we'll say you think it's breaching related. I like the top-down one-up method. So if I'm a 3 in the team, I go down to the 4 and I sanity check myself. Like somebody you can really trust, like your fucking boy, like a Cole, like a Jay, like a dude. Pull him aside. Like, that's what you say. Yo, how you feeling? He'll say some shit like, I feel fine. Like, I don't fucking feel good, dude. Like, when we came back on Tuesday after that big breach, were you not feeling weird? And if he says no, like, I don't feel right, dude. I feel like I got punched in the fucking head. Like everything's a little fuzzy, a little hazy. I feel like I'm hungover, but I'm not. But I feel like I can't shake this brain fog. Has that ever happened to you? Hopefully he'll be a good dude and he'll open up and be honest, or he'll give you like a, yeah, every now and then, not too bad. Who's the next dude above you that's not a TL, like your number two, who's also got a significant amount of breaching experience? Exact same thing with him. Hopefully you got a good rapport with him, or somebody you do that's more senior than you that's not all the way up. Pull him aside, exact same thing. Like, yo, man, after a big day of breaching or after like a big one, you feeling any kind of way? Like, I'm feeling like this. If he's a good dude, he'll talk to you, bring it up to the TL, like, and you kind of just preface like this, like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave this job. I don't want to do any of this. I'm not feeling right. And I don't know if it's TBI, I don't know if it's breaching related, but I feel like I'm in a fucking fog and I want to be operating 100%. Have you ever seen this? This ever happened to you? And let them kind of open up and then steer you through it. I've had guys come up to me and say the exact same thing and I help them navigate through it. Take them over to medical. And it's almost like the hush hush thing. Like, I'm not launching this up. I don't go up to my senior dude and like, oh, Brian's got a fucking TBI. Like, we have to pull him off this trip. I handle everything at the lowest possible level until I can't anymore, and then we escalate up. But walk his ass over to medical. Like, hey, John, come over. We came back from this big breaching trip, and my boy Brian, like, he ain't feeling so hot, dude. You give him a once over. Those dudes are really good sanity check, because most of those guys inside special operations are physicians' assistants or doctors. A lot of them came from the community. Their team guys went to PA school, so they get it. They know. And if you're just honest and open with those dudes, like, before I say anything, I do not want to leave here. I do not want to get sidelines. I do not want to get pulled out of here. I just want you to check me over. They'll give you a neuro check, and if you've got a TBI, it might be one of those things like, hey, dude, still come to work, get a lift in. I'm going to talk to your troop chief. I want you to pull off the jump trip, and I want you to pull off this breaching trip, and I want you to take 3-4 weeks off. No heavy impact, no fight club, just chill. I want you sleeping 8-10 hours a day, and I want you to take these supplements. Okay, dude, that might be a godsend for you. That might be just enough to buy you back that time, because that's the cumulative effect that people never talk about. You go on a breaching trip, or you're doing house runs, and you get a couple heavy shots. Next morning, you wake up 5 a.m. You didn't get home until 2, so now you're running on 3 hours of sleep. Brain hasn't had time to heal. You get a lift in, you go on a strenuous run, some crazy workout or whatever, and then you walk into the fight gym and you do 5-6 rounds of stand-up boxing, getting smacked in the head. You start doing freestyle wrestling, you get smashed on your head. You're doing jiu-jitsu, you're doing this, like these constant little bumps over and over and over. They're just adding to the overall effect. If I take that time off, and that's why they put people in comas, dude. They get crazy TBIs. First thing you do, put his ass in a coma, limit his movement, let his brain heal.
Damn.
That's why they do it. Put him in a coma, let his brain heal. A lot of times that's what you should do, but they can't do it. So what's the easiest way to do? They'll shelf you, or they'll have some knee-jerk reaction, which I don't like, and that's really what you're concerned with. That's what I'm concerned with is, maybe the best thing for him is just put him in training. Let's just rip him out of platoon, we'll just stick him in training for 2 years. Nope. That is not what he wants to do. It's not what he wants to do. And you're going to watch him go from spiraling to a straight death spiral, straight down, because now he has no purpose. He's lost the boys, now he's hurt, now he knows it, now all of you know it, now you're looking at him like he's under a fucking microscope, and it erodes his confidence, his ability to do his job. It does, and that's what most people are worried about. They're worried about, if I say something, they're going to pull me. Can't have that, dude. But I would say, one below, one above, handle it at the lowest possible level, but you got to be honest. And if you build a team that's a true dynasty you're truly a part of, like that 12-man team, if you can't sit down in the middle and just fucking say it to them all, probably in the wrong team, or you guys are focused on the wrong stuff. Because every single person matters inside of the organization, and if the 7 pipes up, everybody else should be taking that on board, because you want him part of the team. The boys don't grow on trees, man. Like, SWAT team guys, there aren't just 55 just sitting in the parking lot like, oh, 1-1's fucked up, give me the next one. It's not like that.
Yeah.
You have to really invest in these guys because you want them there for the entire push. Like, they're idealists in the truest sense. Like, they really want to be there and they don't want to get pulled offline. So don't knee jerk and pull them offline. Let's see what we can do to get them on the right side of optimal. And it might be a 2-week downtime. If you got the flexibility, take 2 weeks off, man. Pull off this trip, pull off that trip. Come in, get some light fitness, relax, dude. Throw them in a sensory deprivation pod, relax your brain, calm your shit down, and try to get 10 hours of sleep every night. That's typically the best thing we can do. Now, I know they say if you've got an actual TBI like concussion, don't go to sleep. That's why you do the concussion protocols. If it's post-concussion, they probably want you to sleep. But you got to talk to the right people, man. You got to talk to doctors, the people that really give a shit about you, that have real experience in this. You can't run to the patient first and be like, oh, I got an overpressure injury. What do you think? They have no idea. Go to people that have been dealing with this their whole time, and they'll help you navigate through it. But you got to say it. You got to say it, man. They don't want to pull you offline. They need you at 100%, and they deserve it. You should be at 100%. If you're not, they'll help you get there. I'd go with that. I appreciate you, boys. Hope that was helpful, man. If you guys are struggling with some TBI stuff, some depression shit, hit me up. Shoot us a DM on Patreon. Manny will get it over to me. We'll set up a phone call. We'll talk, whatever. I'm on my neck. Hit me up there, whatever. Don't sit there and suffer in silence, dude. I promise you it won't be better tomorrow. It won't be. The days will just keep stacking up, and you'll get worse and worse and worse until you finally hit a point where I was at, where you just can't come back from it. And I don't want that for anybody. So watch my movie. You don't need to relive it. I appreciate you, boys. Talk soon.